Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right?
Justice, and the junior national champion, Rose City Rosebuds. Well, fans, welcome in and thank you for joining us for tonight's game, which will see the Guns N' Rollers taking on the Heartless Heathers. But before we get this game underway, fans, could you please put your derby-loving hands together for our volunteer crew tonight, as well as our officiating crew, headed by Mother Flippin' Artist and Doesn't Matter. Joining me on the microphone in-house this evening, the one, the only Puns, who will introduce tonight's first team.
In the black and the pink, give it up for the Guns N' Rollers! And happy birthday, DJ Asian Meow. All right, wearing number 0, that is Zip. 128 is Carl. 139 is Katie Postma. Wearing number 19, Angela Death. Number 31 is Lauren Forcer. Featuring 316, Evan Helical. Wearing 324 is Charlie Chang. Number 325 is Marzipan. 345 is Zaya Leslie. Wearing number 48, Payne Goodall. Number 50 is Scald Eagle. Your captain, 757, Morgan Levy. Wearing 808, you're gonna be sorry. And finally, number 99 is Hellslinger. Give it up for the Guns N' Rollers. And your coaches tonight are Hound and Liquor.
And their opponents tonight, skating in the blue uniforms with the white numbers on the back. Fans, give it up for the Heartless Heathers! Skating tonight for the Heartless Heathers, number 10, OMG WTF. Number 163, Malicious Intentions. Number 21, Stan. Number 241, Lily Pates. Number 247, Mia Palau. Number 26, Nacho Lucky Day. Number 340, Bonnie Thunders. Number 444, Force Majeure. Number 64, Shredder Cheese. Number 70, Freddie Her Fury. Number 71, Hetty. number 8, Sassy. Number 89, HR. Number 925, Dez. And the captain wearing 00 on a roll. Fans, give it up for the Heartless Heathers. The Heartless Heathers tonight are coached by Kyle and Taddy.
Good evening and welcome to the second game of the evening where we are going to see Guns and Rollers take on the Heartless Heathers. I gotta tell you, the first game of the evening went by so quickly. It was halftime before I even knew it. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. Not only are we celebrating DJ Meow's birthday here in the hangar this evening, but it is also the 1000th game for one of our super special officials. We did celebrate it during the first game, but still exciting to talk about. I am trying to get the stream up on my phone as we speak so that I can see everybody who's here and watching for this evening. But let's go ahead and get started with roller derby. Jam 1 of the evening. We've got Zip up against Mia Palau. I expect a much faster, harder-hitting technical game this evening than previously with the Wreckers versus Overbeaters, which was an amazing game. We do have penalty number 1 being called on the Heartless Heathers. And Scald Eagle following quickly with a directional violation. Mia Palau is going to be our lead jammer. However, hit to the inside, recycle to the back. One to beat in Morgan Levy. Excuse me, and Nobby. Mia Palau through and picking up 4 points. Zip only a hair's breadth behind, about 2 turns. The pack is starting to move just as Mia Palau says, I'm gonna go ahead and call it off. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start off our sponsors and say thank you so much to Jam on Hawthorne for sponsoring our Jammer line. That Jam line brought to you by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, and everybody-friendly breakfast. While I did introduce myself to those of us in the first game, I don't think I've introduced myself to y'all here in the second game. My name is Omnivore, and I will be your MC on the live stream for the duration of this game. Jam 2, and we've got Bonnie Thunders up against Evangelical for GNR. Bonnie Thunders working at the top of the pack, 2 to beat. That's Morgan Levy and Nobby. Bonnie through, picking up lead jammer status. Evangelical just a little bit behind, not lead jammer status. Looks like Nobby's going to be headed to that penalty box. I don't have a penalty tracker, so on a penalty. Bonnie Thunders coming back around, looking to pick up 3 out of 4, and then calling the jam off, holding GNR scoreless that jam. While I'm waiting for the stream to come up in front of me so that I can talk to you all, you guys, who are you here cheering for? Skater team, where are you cheering from? I would love to see where we're picking up fans from. We had a bunch of people from the East Coast on the earlier game. I'd like to see if that continues over here to the second game. There's our whistle. Zip and Stan both wearing the stars. Stan quickly to the front of the pack. Charlie Chang, Lauren Forster last to beat. Stan picking up lead jammer status. Just kidding. It was a no pass, no penalty, so we do not have a lead jammer yet. Zip still working. Zip finding their way through on the outside. Zip picking up lead jammer. Stan right behind. We've got a race between Zip and Stan. Both jammers re-entering the back of the pack at turn 3 at approximately the same time. Both teams were walled up and ready for it. Zip trying to find a way through on the inside. That is on a roll, forcing Zip to the inside with a recycle back to between turn 3 and turn 4. on a roll with a big stop on Zip. On a roll, placing themselves in between some GNR blockers there. Lauren Furster looking for the recycle back on Stan. Zip coming around, hoping to pick up more points. 4 already on the board for both teams. Who do you think's gonna win? I know that we're like a whole 4 minutes into the game, but you guys, I feel like y'all have like a really good idea of what's going on. I'm back for my first, I guess this is actually my second game since the hiatus over the winter. I haven't been announcing since December or so, since the end of the season in December. So excited to be back. Still getting my sea legs, however, so please bear with me if I make any stumbles. Stan working again there at turn 1 against all 4 blockers on GNR. Lauren Forster coming back to play some offense for Zip. There's the end of the jam. Both teams picking up an additional 4. That is an 8-8 jam. No difference in score, but we see GNR with 8 points and the Heartless Heathers with 19. If you know a business that would benefit by promoting at Derby events to RCR members, email sponsorship at rosecityrollers.com or check out our sponsorship at rosecityrollers.com. If you look, our penalty box is currently sponsorless. I just have to call it the penalty box, and that feels really sad to me. So please find somebody, recommend somebody to sponsor that penalty box so that I don't just have to call it the penalty box. Meanwhile, down on the track, we've got Scald Eagle and Mia Palau as the jammer. Scald Eagle out, but Mia Palau right on Scald Eagle's heels. It is going to be a race. The pack is going to speed up. I would assume it is, but maybe it won't. Eagle with a classic Eagle juke, going ahead and calling it off. However, Heartless Heathers picking up 2 points. Good job, Mia Palau. I'd like to say thank you to Porque No Taqueria, PDX Pipeline, and the Portland Mercury. Thank you so much for being sponsors. And also, this stream this evening is brought to you by S1 Helmets, our stream sponsor. Thank you, S1 Helmets, for keeping our noggins so safe. And the soft little jelly that lives within it. Evangelical and Bonnie Thunders again. Both jammers getting out at approximately the same time. Beautiful jammer on jammer blocking there. Bonnie Thunders stopping Evangelical for a moment, gaining some distance, choosing to call that jam off. It was not going to be profitable for either jammer at that point in time. Oh, goodness. I feel like every game, teams have to settle into their skates a little bit in the first 5 or 10 minutes. But, I really think this is just going to be a good, fast, hard-hitting game. And I'm really, really excited for it. There's our whistle with Zip and Hetty wearing the stars. Zip looking for a line on the outside, finding OMG there at the top of the pack. Hetty getting out, picking up lead jammer. Heartless Heathers doing a great job thus far in our 6 jams at getting lead jammer status. Hetty coming back around on the initial, looking to pick up points, or on the scoring jam, scoring pass, looking to pick up points, while Zip is still being held there between turn 2 and 3 by those Heartless Heathers blockers. Hetty getting through with a little help by number 8. That is Sassy on the Heartless Heathers. Skaters in blue picking up an additional 4 points. What is Hetty going to do? Is Hetty going to allow Hetty through, picking up another 4 points? Meanwhile, on GNR, it looks like we've had a star pass to Katie Postma. Katie Postma with 4 on the board. Hetty seems to just be letting that jam run. We've got 9 points for the Heartless Heathers going up against GNR's 5. I'd like to say thank you to Two Town Cider, damn fine cider made here in the Pacific Northwest. Grab a bright cider today. Down there on the track, we've got Scald Eagle facing off against Mia Palau. Scald Eagle known for quick footwork and through with a little bit of help from Zaya. Scald Eagle picking up lead jammer status. Mia still stuck at turn 2, but not for long. Mia finding her way through on the outside. Scald Eagle through, picking up 4, calling off that jam. So GNR holding the Heartless Heathers scoreless on that jam. About 21 minutes left in this period. I'd like to say thank you to Liquid Death, now serving Liquid Death at RCR's bar. If you know, you know. I happen to be drinking a Liquid Death right now, side by side with my Rogue Cucumber Gin Fizz. Not as good as the Vodka Cran, but definitely drinkable. Evangelical up against Smush. Evangelical looking to get through, like nice lateral action left to right across the track, 2 to beat in the Heartless Heathers. Heartless Heathers slowing Evangelical down long enough for Smush to get through and pick up lead jammer for the Heartless Heathers. Smush coming back around, looking to score some points. GNR is set up and ready to receive and escort Smush out to the outside. Smush going ahead and calling that jam off before Evangelical can re-engage and score any points. If you want to grab some RCR swag and rep your favorite league, go ahead and check out our online store at shop.rosecityrollers.com. I can't wait to take a look at that. I'm actually going to be back here for juniors games tomorrow, and there is some juniors merch I cannot wait to pick up. Some of our teams are so creative in the merch that they create. There's our whistle, Angela Death and Bonnie Thunders, both jammers for their respective teams. Bonnie at the top of the pack, Zaya and Carl to beat. Ooh, Carl, amazing with Charlie Chang there at the end as well. Bonnie able to get around both. Charlie Chang going and taking a seat in that penalty box. Bonnie with a nice juke to the outside, able to get through with very, very little disruption. Carl is now our jammer for GNR. What is Bonnie going to do? Oh, Bonnie's going to get some amazing offense from on a roll and get through, picking up another very quick 4 points. And actually just that was HR, not on a roll, so I apologize. This jam is continuing to go. I thought it was over, but it's not. Bonnie Thunder's coming through, looking to pick up another 4, already posting an 8-point jam. Zaya at number 325. That is Marzipan trying to slow Bonnie down and just unable to. Carl stuck at the back by those Heartless Heathers. That was Des really causing some pain for Carl. Continuing to cause pain for Carl, actually. We've got a drawback on Carl. And another, that is Lily Pate with the drawback this time. Bonnie Thunders, meanwhile, continuing to rack up points. We are at a 24-point jam for Bonnie Thunders so far. And why don't we just go ahead and make that 28 points? 6 points, 6 seconds on the jam clock. Carl's finally through on an initial pass, looking to pick up points. Bonnie Thunders, however, just gonna run that clock down. That is a monster 31-point jam for Bonnie Thunders of the Heartless Heathers. I knew there was a reason I should get excited for this game, because it's going to be really, really good. Scald Eagle up against Lily Pate. That can't be true. It's not. It's Stan. I was like, that's not Lily. Scald Eagle, meanwhile, getting lead jammer. It looks like we have a star pass from Stan to OMG on the Heathers. Just kidding. We've got a star stash. Nobby slowing Stan down late. There's a nice hit from Scald Eagle. Scald Eagle going ahead and slowing Stan down. Scald Eagle holding stand back, now off like a rocket. Stan putting the star cap back on as Eagle gets through, picks up 4, calls the jam off. That was some really great offense by both teams there. Super impressive. Once again, that jam line brought to you by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast. Mia Palau up on the toe stops, getting out, getting lead jammer. Zip. That was a very nice hit by HR. Recycle back to pass the pivot line for Zip. Zia Leslie going ahead and taking a seat in that penalty box. Mia Palau coming back around, looking to pick up more points. Zip headed to the penalty box as well. What is Zip headed to the penalty box on, though? Let's see. Maybe a cut track, possibly. However, with Zip headed to the penalty box when she did, that is going to leave the Heartless Heathers and Hetty in a power jam. Not a super great position there, but let's see if GNR can hold Hetty long enough to get Zip back out of that penalty box. Zip and Leslie, or Zaya actually. GNR with 3 skaters on the floor.
Nothing's come through at the moment.
Okay. Hetty is through, picking up lead jammer status. Zaya is standing in the penalty box and re-entering. Zip is still taking a seat. Hetty coming around through on initial, now picking up points. It looks like we've got 32 people watching on the stream right now. Tell me who you're cheering for and where you're cheering from. I'd love to talk to all of you. Zip back on the track. That penalty box is clear. Hetty looking for some help from Nacho Lucky Day. Unable, Nacho did a great job. However, Hetty's still at the back of the pack. Let's see what Hetty does. Hetty goes ahead and calls it off before Zip can score any points. I cannot for the life of me get my stream up in front of me. That's okay. We're fine. We are set up on that jam line, and we've got Evangelical up against Bonnie Thunders. Bonnie Thunders, I was going to say making short work of things, but then Zaya and Lauren Forcer really made life hard with Carl there, slowing Bonnie Thunders down long enough for Evangelical to get out right behind Bonnie. The pack is speeding up. Penalty box has 1 from each team in it. Bonnie forced to the outside by Zaya, Carl, and Charlie Chang.
That is the 100,000th point Darth Blake has called in his Derby career.
I am listening to the house mic at the same time that I am trying to stream, and it is a little distracting. There's our whistle, Scald Eagle and Mia Palau. Scald Eagle beautifully to the top of the pack with a little bit of help by Katie Postma. Mia Palau looking to get through backwards on the outside. A full track, a full lap behind, but that doesn't mean anything at this level of Derby. All 4 Heartless Heathers are trying to slow Eagle down. Eagle, seeing and having really great track awareness, as Eagle does, calls that jam off before any points could be scored by the Heartless Heathers. like to say thank you to a lot of people. 187 Killer Pads, S1 Helmets again. S1 is sponsoring our stream this evening, so thank you so much for keeping everybody's heads so safe. Zip and Smush jamming for their teams down there on the track. Man, this game is moving so fast. Nobody is lead jammer yet, but Smush is up at the top of the pack with, well, 3 to beat. Looking for some help from On a Roll. Smush has to be let go. Smush is going to be our lead jammer. We have a star pass on GNR. However, we've got a penalty being called. I wonder if it was to Carl. Star pass may have been completed. I don't know what's happening. That's okay. Oh, looks like it was a bad star pass. So Smush going ahead and calling it off with... Yeah, so the star pass happened, but it was not a legal star pass. So that is why there was a little bit of confusion down there, but we got it figured out. 10 minutes left in this period. We've got a score of GNR 29 to Heartless Heathers 82. We do have an official timeout being called out down on the track, and that is a welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's Realtor. Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor. Taking a look at our penalty board, it is definitely not a very penalty-heavy game so far, and I don't expect it to be. So we've got a lot of people sitting at 1. Again, sort of as people settle into their skates and get those initial, I don't know, nerves out of the way. I anticipate seeing several of these skaters not collect any more penalties. So Guns and Rollers, almost everybody's sitting with a penalty. Over on Heartless Heathers, we only have a few. There is the wrap-up of that timeout. So we are going to get back to gameplay here, and it looks like Bonnie Thunders is jamming for the Heartless Heathers. GNR is taking a seat in that penalty box due to that illegal star pass. Bonnie Thunders through, and Katie Postma trying to slow Bonnie down there at the end, but unable to do it. It is really hard to slow Bonnie Thunders down. It's about as easy to slow down Scald Eagle. So Bonnie Thunders really capitalizing on a disorganized pack there, able to get through and pick up 4. Meanwhile, Zip is back out on the track right behind Bonnie. Bonnie with enough cushion. Not worried at all about Zip. Zip just getting through on her initial pass. There's another, oh, it looks like Nacho Lucky Day headed to the penalty box for the Heartless Heathers. Bonnie, seeing where Zip was, goes ahead and calls that jam off. I'd like to say thank you to Holler. Visit Holler, Selwood's down-home restaurant, sports bar, and treat shop. There's our whistle for our next jam. We've got Evangelical and Hetty. Man, that pack just speeds up so quickly. Okay. Evangelical getting lead jammer while still stuck, getting recycled. I thought there might have been a cut track in there. There was not. Hetty is caught behind those GNR blockers over there at the far side of the track. There's just a lot happening. There's a penalty being called. There is a cut track. Zaya Leslie with the cut track. Evangelical through, picking up 4 points on that scoring pass. Hetty coming back around, looking to pick up some points. Evangelical trying to pick up points and just allowing this jam to run, even though Hetty is right there. That is, oh, beautiful hit by Carl. That is Carl and Charlie Chang holding it down at the top of the pack, having to let Hetty go. Hetty picking up 4 points. Zaya Leslie re-entering the pack. Evangelical calling it off before Hetty can pick up any additional points. Both teams at 4. Just kidding. GNR picking up 7 points to the Heartless Heathers 4. We've got a score of 36 GNR to 98 Heartless Heathers with about 7 minutes left on this period clock. Looks like we've got Scald Eagle down there. And Mia Palau. Scald Eagle looking for a way on the inside, not quite finding it. Mia Palau is out. There we go. Scald Eagle. Oh. Ooh, Mia Palau with a penalty right as she got lead jammer. Not actually as she got lead jammer, because Scald Eagle got lead jammer. So Mia Palau taking a seat in that penalty box. Scald Eagle through for 4. Beautiful offense being played there by Katie Postma for Scald Eagle. Scald Eagle coming through again. Beautiful juke to the outside. Mia Palau trying to use, looks like trying to use Scald Eagle's momentum through the pack to help her as well. There is such a disorganization happening, but everybody seems to be doing what they're supposed to do. Mia Palau through on initial as Scald Eagle calls that jam off. Like to thank you to Two Town Cider, damn fine cider made here in the Pacific Northwest. Grab a bright cider today. We've got Zip and Bonnie Thunders. Zip beating out Bonnie Thunders to pick up lead jammer. Bonnie Thunders with one more to beat in Carl. Charlie Chang coming up trying to slow down Bonnie as well. Unable to do it. Let's see what Bonnie does. I think she's probably going to go for an apex. But Zip goes ahead and calls it off. That is 4 points for GNR, but also, oh, there we go. I was going to say 0 points for the Heartless Heathers. GNR games are won by inches. So 51 points for GNR to Heartless Heathers 98. But GNR holding the Heathers scoreless in that last jam. Evangelical and Smush both wearing the jammer caps this go around. Evangelical out. OMG was like, there was a penalty there. At least that was what I was reading in that facial expression. Nice blocking up at the top there on Smush. They're going to have to let Smush go. Smush with a star stash. Evangelical lead jammer picking up 4 points. Smush coming back around, looking for some assistance. And instead having the skates taken out from underneath her. Evangelical looking to pick up more points here. Trying to get around those GNR blockers, and she does. So that is 4 points on the board for Smush. Evangelical trying to stay in bounds. And she does. Another 4 points up for Evangelical. The pack is getting ready to, oh, beautiful. That would have been beautiful, except OMG. OMG kind of got in the way. It was still beautiful. It was beautiful for both of them. Beautiful blocking by OMG. Beautiful jump by Evangelical. Evangelical trying to beat OMG to the outside line. Unable to do it. Smoosh, meanwhile, picking up an additional 4 points for the Heathers. Evangelical going ahead and calling it off. Oh, looks like we have a timeout. There's an official review. I wonder if they are going to ask for that penalty on OMG. WTF. Official reviews are used, I don't know if I would say used sparingly, but generally you don't ask for the official review unless you think you've got a pretty good case. I feel like official reviews usually do not go in the challenging team's favor very often. We did see it last game. If the official review is found to be valid, then the team retains their official review. Otherwise, they lose it. So once the refs figure out what's going on and what's being asked for, we'll go ahead and send the audio down there to the track.
There's a requesting a cut call on the black jammer from the previous jam as a result of gaining superior position on 2 of their own players.
So it looks like they are looking, Heartless Heathers are looking for a cut track on GNR. Did I say Guns N' Roses? If I did, I meant Guns N' Rollers. It's been a long day. But I'm guessing it was when OMG was like, there was a penalty there. What is going on? So we'll see momentarily what's happening. In the meantime, I would like to say thank you to Black Cat Plumbing, Portland's neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of RCR.
No call will stand. Heartless Heathers will now retain their review for the first half.
Proud sponsor of RCR since forever. That official review was found to be invalid. So the Heartless Heathers will not retain their official review, and the penalty will not be called. So now we are coming back to the track where we've got Scald Eagle up against number up against Mia Palau. Scald Eagle through, picking up lead jammer. Mia Palau with Zaya Leslie to beat, and number 31, that is Lauren Forcer. .247, Mia Palau. Scald Eagle going ahead and calling that off after picking up 4 points. Tomorrow, we've got 2 really great juniors games. We've got a Buds game and a Pedals game. You should come down and support those junior skaters. That is our pipeline to our adult teams. And let me tell you, if you like adult games, you will really love juniors games. They are just so much fun, and the kids have such a good time. Meanwhile, we've got Zip and Bonnie Thunders. Zip getting through, not picking up lead jammer. There was a no pass, no penalty that happened. So Zip will have to come back around, re-engage at the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Bonnie Thunders getting out, picking up lead jammer there at turn 2. Zip through on her initial pass as well. Oh, scored pass. Bonnie tries for the apex jump, not quite able to get it, but does call it off from the ground. I'd like to say thank you to Killer Burger, 5 minutes to burgers, beers, and bottomless fries. I heard a rumor that West Lynn is getting a Killer Burger. That makes me very excited. I do love me a Killer Burger. And we've got Hetty and Evangelical both wearing the stars this jam. Evangelical already at the top of the pack, just trying to get around I was going to say that last Heartless Heathers blocker, but really it's all three of them. Charlie Chang, Carl, Zaya, all holding up Hetty. Meanwhile, Evangelical out and picking up lead jammer. Nice hit from Charlie Chang with a nice come in by Zaya Leslie to slow Hetty down. Hetty about half a track behind. We are now off the period clock and on the jam clock. Oh, we've got 2 Heathers in that penalty box. Evangelical coming back around, looking for some help from Zaya. I think getting it. Yes, beautiful. Heartless Heathers able to recycle around in front of Evangelical, causing Evangelical to call that off. We are now at halftime. I'm going to go and refresh my beverage. I encourage you to do the same, and I will come back and see you in about 15 minutes. Hello and welcome back to the second period of this amazing game between GNR and Heartless Heathers. I just got my live chat up and running so I can actually see who's watching the game. And Melons, I did introduce myself eventually once I figured out I hadn't done it. So if you are just tuning in for the second period of this game, I am Omnom Nomnivore, your MC on the live stream for the duration of this evening. Also, super excited to see who's watching. JC Cone, nice to see you from home. Margaret, HR's hometown, Santa Cruz, California. Sounds great. We've got an international watcher from April, watching from Caslow, BC. Cone from my couch. Go team. Heck yeah, I did see your name on the roster, and I was like, that's weird, because they were talking to me on the stream. But then I realized that you weren't skating, so that makes sense. And then Francis Romero, I believe that's Habanero Romero. So giving a shout out to the Heathers. And meanwhile, while I caught up on all of that, Mia Palau gets out and gets lead jammer over Zip. So Heartless Heathers starting out strong in this second half. Mia Palau through picking up an additional 4 while Zip is stuck looking for a little help from Morgan Levy. Morgan with a huge hit and pulling a penalty on that. But Mia Palau looking to jump the apex and Morgan getting in the way, sending Morgan into that penalty box. Meanwhile, Mia Palau picking up an additional 4, pushing Heartless Heathers' score up to 118 so far. And Ella, do not be so quick to judge. There's a lot of game left, and GNR is realistically not that far behind for a roller derby game. We do have a star pass on GNR to Carl. Mia Palau getting through, picking up 4, calling it off before Carl has a chance to re-engage and score any points. Beautiful 16-point jam for the beginning of the second half here for the Heartless Heathers. Again, we've got a score of 77 to 126. Taking a quick look at our penalty tracker, it is not a penalty-heavy game at all. The most we have is 3 penalties sitting on Des of the Heartless Heathers with 3. Everybody else, oh, and that's equalized by GNR's number 345, Zaya Leslie, with 3 penalties as well. Scald Eagle and Bonnie Thunders both working to get some advantage here. We've got Nopak, Scald speeding up. Bonnie Thunders headed to the penalty box, leaving Scald Eagle as lead jammer in a power jam. That pack should speed up. It is not, but Eagle making short work of everybody there. Lily Pate, last to beat. Sassy last to beat, I'm sorry. Eagle again just plowing through. Heartless Heathers attempting to stop Eagle and just can't. That's Sassy and number 163 of the Heartless Heathers. That is going to be Malicious Intentions. Rolling a shoulder there at the end. Bonnie Thunders back on the track, but not before Eagle picks up an additional 4. This is what GNR needs. Scald Eagle picking up a boatload of points here. Calling it off. Bonnie Thunders getting 2 points there at the very end, but that is nothing against GNR's 15. That 15 points brings us a heck of a lot closer between these two teams. What is that, 36 points separating them? That is nothing. That is 1 to 2 good jams. Everybody's lined up on that jam on Hawthorne jammer line. We've got 1 sitting in the box for the Heartless Heathers, and we've got Katie Postma up against Smush. Not Katie Postma, Evangelical. I should not trust the scoreboard. Evangelical out. Should have lead jammer, but does not. Do we still not have a lead jammer? Heathers defense doing a real good job of holding Evangelical down. There is a lot of work being done there. Everybody's sort of tied up there at turn 3. Not much movement by anybody. Evangelical trying inside and outside, trying to find a way through. Still no lead jammer being called. Everybody's sort of creeping forward. Evangelical making a break. Evangelical has to reset, but the pack has broken up at this point. We had a star stash for Smush. Evangelical was lead jammer in there at some point, able to call it off.
That was a very hard-fought 4-point jam. Guns N' Rollers now have cut the lead to 32.
So that lead is now cut by another 4 points. So 28 plus 4, that's only 32 points separating these teams with plenty of time on that clock. There's our whistle. Zip and Mia Palau wearing the stars. Well, Mia Palau picking up lead jammer status. Charlie Chang headed to the penalty box. Zip not super far behind Mia. Oh, Mia choosing to go directly through GNR. Heartless Heathers picking up 3. GNR picking up none.
Choose Murderville for dinner next Tuesday night, March 7th from 5 to 8 p.m. in Murderville on Southeast 25th is hosting a dine-in to support our Rosebud's All-Star 20% sale. Go to its healthy coveted travel expenses.
Like to say thank you to Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. There's our whistle. Scald Eagle and Bonnie Thunders. Scald Eagle, I didn't even see how Scald got through. I'm just going to trust that it happened. Bonnie Thunders 2 turns behind, picking up speed. Eagle not slowing down at all. Bonnie through on an apex jump, but no points for Bonnie. Although Eagle did pick up all 4 for GNR. Brings us to a 31-point game between these two teams. GNR slowly inching in on the Heartless Heathers. Ella, they may prove you wrong. There's our whistle. Evangelical and Hetty. Evangelical forces Hetty out. Nice recycle back to turn 3. Evangelical trying to capitalize on that speed. Will Evangelical do it? That is just a constant recycle of Heathers in front of Evangelical. Charlie Chang bridging between the 2 groups there. Evangelical with OMG and Nacho Lucky Day. Evangelical through, picking up lead jammer for GNR. Way to go, GNR. Hetty still struggling back here. Evangelical looking to pick up points. Evangelical picking up the full 4 there. That was some beautiful skating and finding a way through. Hetty with 1 to beat. That would have been Charlie Chang and Lauren Forcer. Lots of cheering going on for Hetty underneath me. GNR calling that jam off. 7 points, 107 to 131. This is how games are won. This is how lead changes happen. We do have a team timeout being called on the Heartless Heathers. All timeouts are brought to us by Deb Counts Tabor. If you're ready to move to Portland and join RCR, let Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor help find you a home. So taking a look at our penalty tracker there, you can see it is a very low scoring game. We've got a lot of people sitting at 3, but nothing out of the ordinary, no weird penalties. Yeah, now that you've seen a little bit over half of the game happen, who do you think's gonna win? Also, who are your favorite skaters so far? I know I've got my favorites that I want to look at for MVPs, but I wonder if they match who you think should win MVPs. 5 seconds by Doof. And there's our whistle. Zip and Mia Palau. Mia Palau trying to get around Helslinger. Oh, man, and around Nobby. Mia Palau, lead jammer. This is not what GNR needed. Heather's looking to pick up a lot more points. Zip aggressively pushing through the top of the pack there. Beautiful hit to the outside there by GNR on Mia Palau. Heather's picking up 4 points, but GNR number 19. Heck yeah, GNR number 19. Angela Death doing a great job there. Thank you for joining in, Chris. Glad to see you here. There's our Whistle Scald Eagle and Bonnie Thunders. That's one of my favorite pairings of jammers right there, watching them both work through such different jamming styles. Scald Eagle through, picking up lead jammer. Zaya Leslie headed back to the penalty box. Bonnie Thunders half a lap behind. I really keep expecting apex jumps by Eagle, and they're just not there. Ooh, Ella giving some love to Stan. Stan's fantastic. Freddie Herfury. They're all fantastic. Oh my gosh, there's not a single skater out there that I don't absolutely adore on a visceral level. 20 minutes left on the clock, 111 to 135. GNR looking to increase that score just by a couple points at a time. Evangelical aggressively, again, moving to the top of the pack, getting lead jammer status. GNR really coming back here in the second half and dominating, I feel like. Smush able to get around, Nobby not going after her. Evangelical with a push out and recycle back by HR. 1 point is still 1 point. Like I said, thank you to Rebel Heart Therapy. Rebel Heart Therapy, individual and relational therapy for Portland's Black Sheep and Unicorns. Looks like we have a timeout being called down on the track. That's a welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's Realtor. Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor. I know we are relatively early in the home team season. Actually, very early in the home team season. Anybody got any predictions about how it's going to go? Knowing what you know about who's skating on what teams, I'm very interested to see how you all feel. I don't know what we're cheering for, but we're cheering for something down there. It's very exciting. This timeout has come to a close. And we have Zip up against Mia Palau. Mia Palau with a full head of steam heading into turn 1. Looking for some help from number 64. That is Shredder Cheese. Go Shredder Cheese. Called off because there was not going to be any seating position by either of those jammers there. Melons, I know you're watching. Why aren't you up here with me? I miss you, Melons. Although there's so many people that I know here in-house. I'm not really lonely, just lonely on live stream. There's our whistle. Scald Eagle and Bonnie Thunders this jam. Oh, beautiful push on Scald Eagle, which got a track cut on Scald Eagle, leaving Bonnie Thunders in a power jam situation, which is not really what GNR wanted at this point in the game. Bonnie Thunders will, of course, capitalize on a power jam situation, starting by picking up 4 points. It's not too loud. Wear some earplugs. Or come do stream. It's not super loud on stream. I feel that's an ineffectual excuse. Anyways, Bonnie Thunders now at the top of the pack. That was one last to beat in Katie Postma. Now we see it. There is Scald Eagle and Bonnie sort of racing it out. Scald Eagle trying to use those long legs to get around Bonnie, and Bonnie's like, I'll just call it off. You can't do anything. So not a super high scoring jam there for the Heartless Heathers, only putting up 8 points. But it gets a little tiny bit of breathing room for the Heartless Heathers. GNR not quite breathing down their neck in the same way. It looks like we've got Evangelical wearing the star for GNR. Oh, goodness. Up against Mia Palau in blue. Oh, wow. Beautiful work by Mia Palau to get out from behind those GNR. That's Carl. That is Carl and Lauren Forcer. Mia Palau out picking up lead jammer. Evangelical still, not still doing anything. Getting out in an initial pass, looking to come back around and score. Let's see what Mia Palau does. Mia Palau gets around Zaya, picking up that last point of 4 and calling the jam off. Like to say thank you to Secret Aardvark, the local made flavor that kicks you in the mouth. It is way too late. I unfortunately believe that y'all can probably hear me yawning because it is well past my bedtime. Anyways, back to roller derby. Zip and Hetty both wearing the stars. Hetty dancing up the outside with enough of a force to that outside to recycle by Nobby Morgan Levy. Meanwhile, Zip. Oh, Hetty with a forearm. That's going to leave Zip in a power jam situation. Zip getting around that last Heartless Heather. That is on a roll. No lead jammer, but it's going to let Zip score the points that GNR so desperately needs to close the gap between these two teams. Unfortunately, without a jammer on the track for Heartless Heathers, that means that all 4 of those blockers can do their darndest to stop Zip in her tracks. Hetty already back on the track and ahead of Zip. Hetty getting around Payne Goodall and Morgan Levy. No points, but there'll be points now. Zip trying to call the jam off, but Zip is not lead jammer. There is no lead jammer. Zip taking the star off, looking for the pivot. Pivots bridging up at turn 3, not anywhere close to where Zip can hand that star off. Hetty through, picking up 4. 20 seconds left in this jam. Hetty looking to pick up a few more points in the last 5 seconds of this jam. Zip still being held by those Heartless Heathers blockers. Heartless Heathers got 6 on that jam. GNR got 3. So not as punishing as it could have been. I'd like to say thank you to WSL Leadership coaching you, helping you be more awesome in your work, sport, and life. We have a team timeout being called on GNR, and you know what that means. That is a Deb Counts Tabor Welcome to PDX timeout. When you're ready to move to Portland and join RCR, let Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor help find you a home. I'd also like to say thank you to Jam on Hawthorne for sponsoring our Jam line. Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast. Jam on Hawthorne is one of my favorite places to go eat. Actually, all of the RCR sponsors have delicious foods that I really appreciate.
All right, next up, Bonnie Thunder, Scald Eagle. The classic matchup.
Bonnie Thunders and Scald Eagle both wearing the stars.
Both teams again at full strength.
Oh, a failure to yield on Zaya Leslie, sending Zaya back to the penalty box. Bonnie Thunders getting lead jammer. Eagle finally through as Bonnie Thunders is re-entering the pack on a scoring pass. Bonnie's able to get all 4 points before calling that jam off. I'd like to say thank you to Shebop, Dye Dye My Darling Hair Salon, Portland Vital Signs, and Sisu Mouth Guards. Thank you so much for being sponsors of Roller Derby here this evening. Evangelical and Smush both wearing the stars. Evangelical working against all 4 Heather's blockers up at the top of the pack. Smush not too far behind, breaking up those GNR blockers in the best way. Oh, around on one skate. Smush picking up lead jammer for the Heathers. Evangelical still struggling, looking for the pivot. The star is off. The Heartless Heathers doing a good job. Lily Pate actually doing a great job of pushing Evangelical to the outside. Evangelical having to stop and tie skate. Freddie Herfury taking a seat in that penalty box. Smush coming back around looking to score a few more points. Evangelical still no points up on the board yet. Yeah, Evangelical just struggling against those Heathers blockers. Trying to get some additional position there. Looking for some help, it looks like, from Morgan Levy for some offensive help. Everybody's just really balled up there in turn 3. Evangelical looking to get around, last to beat and on a roll. Evangelical through. That's going to be a back block being called on Freddie Herfury. Freddie Herfury out of the penalty box just to go right back. We have 10 minutes left in this game. We have a score of 115 GNR to 167 Heartless Heathers. Zip and Mia Palau. Zip trying the outside line, getting forced out and recycled back behind that Jam on Hawthorne jammer line. Mia Palau with Charlie Chang to beat. Carl coming up with a swing and a miss. Oh man, but we've got a forearm being called on Mia Palau. That's gonna leave Zip in a power jam situation while being lead jammer. Is this going to be what closes the gap for GNR? We can hope. Zip around OMG, WTF, picking up 4. Come on, Zip. Let's see what else GNR can do. Looking for some Zip, getting some help from Charlie Chang and the other GNR skaters. Mia Palau out of the box, getting ready to re-enter and engage with the skaters, with the pack. Mia Palau through on initial pass. Zip going ahead and calling the jam off.
4 points so far. Looks like we're adding 3 more. 7-point jam for GNR.
If you want to get in on the action and join roller derby, you can join RCR as a skater or an official or an announcer for that matter. We hold regular intro to derby boot camps and we'll teach you everything you need to know to get rolling. Check out rosecityrollers.com/join for more info. Morgan Lee, just kidding, Scald Eagle and Bonnie Thunders again. We are back at the top of the jammer rotation. Bonnie Thunders breaking out in front, really trying to disrupt those GNR blockers. GNR doing a great job of waterfalling back in front of Bonnie. Bonnie beating it all, however, getting out and picking up lead jammer. Eagle through on a star stash. Bonnie hit out by GNR. Bonnie looking to see where Eagle is, calls it off before Eagle can score any points. It's almost like they've played against each other and with each other long enough that they can anticipate what the other's gonna do. Funny how that happens. 49 points between the two teams, sort of holding steady there. Got down to 31, back up now to 49. Hey, Sherry, thanks for tuning in this evening. Evan Helical and Mia Palau. Charlie Chang looking to catch Mia Palau. Mia Palau just kind of running over Charlie Chang. Mia with just some quick skates. One last to beat there in number 28. 128, that is Carl. Mia Palau recycling back, not sure that she was in bounds. Mia pushing hard against Charlie and Carl up at the top, and Lauren Forcer there just after turn 2. Evan Helical. Oh, Mia Palau with a high block. That is the end of that jam. Oh, we stopped due to something other than a call off. So now we've got Mia Palau hanging out in the penalty box. That is going to allow GNR to start with GNR to start in a power jam situation next time around. Ella, I love these skaters so much too. Like, there's not, like I said, I know that somebody has to lose, but I just enjoy watching because they're such phenomenal athletes, and it makes watching and announcing so easy. So we do have a timeout called on the track. This timeout, as always, brought to you by Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor. Yeah, ready to move to Portland and join RCR? Let Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor help find you a home. I'd also like to say thank you to S1 Helmets. They are our stream sponsor. This broadcast and all of our broadcasts this season brought to you thanks to S1 Helmets. And while I'm at it, notice how the penalty box is completely without branding. That entire white wall there at the penalty box, or you will once the stream goes back to the track side action. But if you know a business that would benefit by promoting at roller derby events and RCR members, email sponsorship@rosecityrollers.com or check out sponsorship on rosecityrollers.com. Your logo could cover that entire wall there at the penalty box. You just have to sponsor us. And once again, if you enjoy watching roller derby this evening, you should come and watch Junior Roller Derby tomorrow. The Junior Roller Derby athletes are the home team skaters of tomorrow. And watching them is so much fun. I really, really enjoy being here to watch juniors games. So me and Stabby and Puns will all. Oh, I didn't even realize that they were gonna say things down there, but they did. But anyways, you should tune in to the juniors games tomorrow, or just come down to the hangar and watch them for yourselves. There's an exhibition bout happening, which is just going to be exciting. It'll just be a lot of fun to watch. So 52-point lead currently for the Heartless Heathers. We've got GNR sitting at 122 and Heartless Heathers sitting at 174. Doesn't matter. Our ref, our head skating official, checking in with both benches. I do believe they are going to say something at center track here. We have about 6 minutes left on the clock. Looking at our penalties, we've only got one person with 5. That's going to be Zaya Leslie on the Guns and Rollers. But Heartless Heathers, number 70, Freddie Herfury, does have 4 penalties. Neither of them are in any danger of anything like a game expulsion happening. Not with only 6 minutes left on the track. Waiting any second. Doesn't matter, is out there on the outer track though. Here we go. He's giving the wrap it up. Doof wrapping it up as well. We're gonna get back to skating again with 6 minutes left on the clock. Looks like we've got the Heartless Heathers jammer sitting in the penalty box, which is probably the only opening that Scald Eagle needs. Scald Eagle through already. Obviously lead jammer. Scald Eagle's the only jammer on the track right now. Scald Eagle coming back around. And if anybody can make up 50 points between two teams, it's going to be Eagle. Eagle hit to the outside. I think some of that was friendly fire. But a long recycle back to behind the jam line. Eagle getting some speed before re-engaging the pack. Coming up against OMG WTF, just sort of swiping OMG to the side. Eagle coming back around. Mia Palau is back on the track. Eagle coming around. Oh, that's a no pass, no penalty. Eagle did not manage to stay in bounds while escorting Mia off the track. Eagle looking to pick up. Oh, and calling it off. No points for Heartless Heathers. 9 for GNR. Looks like for GNR jamming this jam, we've got Zip up against Body Thunders. It's embarrassing that I'm yawning. Y'all now know exactly how much of an old woman I am. Okay, everybody capitalizing. There we go. Bonnie Thunders pushing through on a chaotic pack. Bonnie's lead jammer. Zip with 1. Heather 2. Beat. Nacho Lucky Day slowing Zip down enough for Bonnie Thunders to come through and pick up 4. Nice offense being played by OMG and number 163. That is Malicious Intentions. Zip coming around the outside, picking up 4 points. Well, Bonnie struggles against, well, not anymore. That was number 325, Marzipain, slowing Bonnie down there at the end, but not for very long. Bonnie coming back through and just making short work of these blockers. I don't know if it's Bonnie's footwork or the spinning, but it just seems like blockers dissolve in front of Bonnie. Zip. Zip's star is off. Looking for Katie Postma. Hit to the outside, recycled back. Meanwhile, Bonnie Thunder's coming through, picking up more points and plowing through Katie Postma on the way. 20 points already put up by Bonnie Thunders with 3 minutes left on the period clock. I do not know if GNR is going to be able to come back from this. Those of you who are watching, tell me who you think our MVPs should be for this game. Again, really interested to hear what you see from home. We have a team timeout being called for GNR, and that is a Deb Counts Tabor Welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout brought to you by RCR's Realtor. Welcome to PDX.
Fans, make sure you stick around after the conclusion of tonight's game for a presentation of the MVPs.
I'd like to say thank you to Trailhead Credit Union. Get financial guidance for whatever trail you choose, and United Athletic Club, where fitness happens in Southeast Portland. Many classes at United Athletic Club are taught by Rose City Rollers skaters. Ella saying Mia is jammer, Nacho is blocker, Eve is jammer, and Charlie is blocker. We'll see if that pans out. Those are good choices. Definitely good thoughts. Evan Helical's an amazing jammer. They're all amazing. Who am I kidding? One of our last jams starting now, Evan Helical and Hetty. Hetty working on the outside first, moving to the inside, and then going straight up the middle. Evan Helical crashing through everyone. That is, oh man, HR getting in the way again. Evan Helical, lead jammer. Ooh, Hetty headed to the penalty box on a forearm, leaving Evan Helical in a power jam at this very crucial point in the game. The Heartless Heathers are not going to take that lightly, however. Beautiful offense there by number 128, Carl. Way to go. HR as MV blocker. Okay, Sherry, I see you. GNR picking up one extra point, making that a 5-point jam. Minute and 40 left on our clock. Scald Eagle teeing up for GNR. Oh, and we still have Hetty hanging out in that penalty box, but Hetty is standing, so only a few more seconds left on that penalty. Now we've got a team timeout being called. That is a Welcome to PDX timeout. If you're ready to move to Portland and join RCR, let Welcome to PDX and Deb Counts Tabor help find you a home. Timeouts are a great time to go fill your water bottle, grab another PBR or 2-town cider from your fridge. Maybe reheat some pizza in your microwave or your oven if you're bougie. I wish all of you had been here in-house tonight. The energy here is totally palpable. Not only that, but I love seeing my fans in person too. My fans, our fans. Just naturally assuming that you're my fans. Minute and 22 left on our game clock. We've got a score of GNR 142 to Heartless Heathers 195. We're about ready to wrap this timeout up. Scald Eagle again jamming for GNR. Hetty standing in the penalty box. There's the whistle. Hetty already back on the track. Eagle not able to get through. Oh man, Katie Postma, the only person paying attention to Hetty coming around. Hetty picking up lead jammer for the Heartless Heathers. Eagle through on a Stars dash. And another timeout being called. 56 seconds left on the clock. We've got another Deb Counts Tabor. Welcome to PDX timeout. This timeout is brought to you by RCR's Realtor. Welcome to PDX. Have you seen our skate-mobile? It's the party on wheels, packed with 150 plus pairs of skates and gear. We're ready to make any event a hit. Visit RoseCityRollers.com for more info on how to book. Skate-mobile is available for parties and things like that. I'd like to say thank you to Holler. Visit Holler, Selwood's Downhome Restaurant, Sports Bar, and Treat Shop. I'm going to agree with HR for Blocker. Really appreciate how they give 100% of their body to absorb hits. It's pretty slick. You're not wrong, Melons. There we go, 55 seconds left on the clock. Zip and Mia Palau. Zip able to get out and get lead jammer for GNR. Mia Palau with a track cut headed to the penalty box. Power jam for Zip. Let's see what Zip can do. And we have a high block being called on number 8. That is Sassy of the Heartless Heathers. Anything that the GNR can do to get Zip some more opportunities for points here. Zip picking up 4. Zip is going to do their darndest to close the gap between these two teams here. Zip through, picking up another 4. That is an 8-point scoring pass so far. Jam, scoring jam. Mia Palau is back on the track, being escorted out by all of the GNR blockers. We're now on the jam clock. Zip going ahead and calling it off, and that is going to be our game. We have an unofficial score, GNR 151 to Heartless Heathers 198. That was an amazing game, folks. I wish all of you had been here in person to see it, but streaming it from home was just as good, hopefully. So let's give it up for both of our teams. Heathers Por Vida, that's right, Sander. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye to you for the evening. I hope you had an enjoyable one, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thanks, folks.
All right, who do you have for MVP blocker?
Carl.
Carl! And who's got the MVP jammer?
Scald Eagle.
All right, Scald. Thank you all so much.